Hi guys, I have a little time on my hands and I'm in my reading room, so I thought if it's okay with you that I might read you a little bit of Vengeful Love. So, from the beginning. Gusting wind pushes me through the revolving glass door into one of London's glossiest high-rise buildings and the home of Saunders, Taylor and Chamberlain, my firm. Shaking my head and running a hand through my now tattered long brown hair, I ride the lift to the 10th floor. Removing my coat somewhat awkwardly whilst holding my laptop case and handbag, I step out onto the grey carpet of the glass and chrome-lined corridor. Good morning, Miss Heath, Scarlett. I smile back at my new secretary as she flashes her blinding white teeth and adjusts the tortoise-shell glasses on the end of her nose. They're secured around her neck with a delicate gold chain. Good morning, Margaret. It's horrid out there. Would you take this for me, please? I ask, handing her my black knee-length Mac. Of course. Would you like coffee? She asks as I make my way along the corridor to my office. Please. You'd better get one for Jack too. We have a 9:30 in his office. I'll bring them through. I dump my bags on my desk, set my laptop in its dock, then hit the switch to light up my computer screen. Oh, and Margaret, I call, popping my head around the office door. Thank you. Crossing one leg over the other, I perch myself in my desk chair and wait for Outlook to load, casting my eyes around what's my humble abode for 72 hours a week, give or take. It's a small office, but more than big enough for one. Most lawyers below partner level have to share, but my previous roomie fell pregnant. In a firm like Saunders, you get pregnant and you get out. There's no time for playing family. The partners here are in the top percentile for intelligence in the country. They know exactly how to get rid of a woman without breaching the Equality Act 2010 or leaving scope for a legitimate claim in the Employment Tribunal. I don't necessarily agree with the approach, but that's how it is. That's why law is still a man's world, and to be successful as a woman, you don't just have to match them, you've got to better them. So now I have my own space, with a modest L-shaped desk, walls lined with full filing cabinets, and a small coffee table where Cynthia's desk used to be. Outlook sings to life. 97 emails from Sunday alone. How dare I go a day without checking in? I slowly work through the backlog, shuffling the emails into various inboxes and flagging them in order of priority. I have just enough time to read one or two urgent messages before my meeting with Jack. In anticipation of him being more grouchy than usual, I've worn my most professional trouser suit to work. Jack is the kind of man a young woman can handle better in trousers. He's been on holiday for a fortnight, and if the rumours are to be believed, his latest wife has found out about his latest affair. Boys and their toys, lawyers and their secretaries, I humour myself. Here's the thing. Being a lawyer in London isn't like being a lawyer in the United States, or at least the perception of lawyers perpetuated by shows like Suits and LA Law. In England, you study for 4 years, you train on the job for 2, so there's less study time than in the US. Maybe that's why we aren't able to turn our hand to criminal law 1 minute and float a company on the Dow Jones the next. We specialise in one area of law. And I chose to specialise in corporate mergers and acquisitions, M&A. Basically, my clients buy and sell companies and occasionally float them on the FTSE. Another difference is that we're paid a lot less than the Yanks. Enough to mingle with the middle classes, sure. But our pay doesn't quite dazzle per hour in the same way. What's not fiction is that we have to be turned out. Well, not quite so glamorous as on American television, but dressed and blow-dried in a way that lets the client know he's paying over the odds for a package. Not only is he buying into someone educated, but also someone slick who knows how to get the job done. Or at least looks like they do. Nevertheless, the sad truth is, the men I work with don't look like Harvey Specter or behave as gentlemanly as Mr. Darcy and Bridget Jones. They look and act like Jack. Scarlett! Jack yells from his adjacent office. I jump, crashing my knee off the underside of my desk. Cantankerous arse. It's only 9:29. Picking up a stack of files I've been covering with him, I walk with purpose to his office. He joined the firm just over a year ago and took me under his discourteous wing immediately. At that stage, I was just under 2 years qualified. I'd have tried to move on from his hold, but then he put me forward early for a promotion to senior associate, so despite too often working through gritted teeth, I endure him. Good holiday, Jack? I ask nonchalantly and instantly cringe. He glares at me from the leather chair behind his desk. Do I attempt to rectify the situation? I choose to sit. Where are we with the Portman deal? He snaps, almost spitting through his whiskey and nicotine-stained moustache. We pulled an all-nighter on Friday. I got both companies in the office. It got a little tense, but we battled out the final points and signed in the early hours. I'll set to work on the condition precedents today. The money should transfer today too. How much did it take in the end? He asks, doing his best to hide the fact he's actually impressed with my work. Jack has been working on this deal almost since the day he arrived at the firm, and each time he's tried to close it, the proverbial shit has hit the fan. 112 million on completion. With the earnout, it could rise to 140. He leans back in his chair, his rounded belly pulling his shirt so tight that I can see flesh and grey stomach hairs escaping through one of the gaps. Project Amber? He asks. We've completed our first round of due diligence and I intend to email our queries to the other side today. You haven't done that yet? Jack snaps. No, Jack, I've been too busy picking up your emails and dealing with all the other shit you left me to manage. I'll get to it first thing, I say meekly. We go through each deal, 11 in total, in much the same stagnated manner. I'm grateful for the momentary distraction when Margaret delivers 2 coffees, a fleeting breather from what's otherwise an intense grilling. That's all, Jack eventually says. I practically run to his office door. Scarlett, he calls as I reach for the handle. Your interest in my personal life is noted. He glares at me, his dark eyes wide, unreadable. Shuddering, I step into the corridor and pull the door shut behind me. I'm going to leave it there, because that's no spoilers. Okay, thanks for keeping me entertained, guys. Maybe I'll do more if you like them. Bye.